Hey folks, Grant from Gunspot here for the Armory Life. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Hellcat RDP from Springfield. All right, so the Hellcat RDP, here's what it comes with. You got a case and two magazine, an 11 and 13 rounder. Now, the 13 rounder obviously is going to make a fuller grip, give you better shooting. But sometimes you just need that flush mag. This one has a pinky extension that doesn't add any rounds, but the flat base plate is in there as well for deep concealment. Okay, and of course, the all-important RDP. So you've got a brake, you've got good night sights. Of course, you've got a mounting system in case you want to go to the modern age and put a red dot on your gun. That's where I would personally run, but you be you. Okay, so for our video, what we did with the RDP was we put it through a chronograph test, and we used a Competition Electronics Pro chronograph for that. We tested 3 different ammunitions, and we shot 3 5-shot groups to see the consistency through that chronograph with each of the ammunition at 7 yards. So for our chronograph test, the first ammo that we shot through it was this Federal Syntec. We used 150 grain variety. It averaged 918 feet per second. Shot about an inch group, a little bit under, which is pretty consistent with all of them. Some of them shot a little bit better, a little bit tighter, I should say. Again, iron sights, and I will admit I was not wearing my glasses. Eyes were a little bit blurry. Probably could improve upon that with each of the ammunitions as well. So our second ammunition that we tested was our Federal Punch 124 grain hollow point. Our average was 1,162 feet per second, and it shot basically 2 holes with 5 rounds divided between those 2 holes. I'm sure the reason there was not 1 hole was because of operator. It shot very well. Of course, I didn't really feel a snappier amount of recoil out of this ammo, and I'm sure that's because of the RDP design. Okay, our last ammunition that we tested was an STV Golden B, which is 115 grain full metal jacket target ammunition. I was kind of surprised how accurate this ammunition was, albeit 7 yards isn't like a super difficult accuracy test, but it one wallered out hole. It was sub MOA or sub inch as well, and averaged 1,056 feet per second. So before we go on, I want to stop and thank True Shot Gun Club for sending us the ammo for this test. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. So you might be thinking like what I was thinking at first when we were asked to do a video on the RDP. The RDP's been out for a little bit. Why are we talking about a gun that's been out for, a year plus? And I think, there's still some relevancy here. As we go to smaller and smaller guns with higher and higher capacity, I think a lot of, especially newer shooters, are going to pick one up, be it a Springfield product or some of the other ones out there, and they're going to be surprised by the recoil. And of course, there's this thing called physics, and a lot of people that are new into the gun world don't understand that physics come into play, and there's only so much recoil without adding mass to the gun that you can remove to make that gun easier to shoot. And of course, one of the ways to do that is with a comp. Of course, whenever you add an aftermarket comp to your gun, a lot of times you're going to introduce a lot of unknown problems. And so it really behooves you to go out there and, if you do that, put it through its paces to know whether it's going to function and shoot reliably all the different kinds of ammunition you might throw at it. That's what I love about a factory option. That due diligence has been done by Springfield in this case to make sure this gun is going to be reliable, and we had 0 issues. I've had quite a few RDPs come through concealed carry and advanced concealed carry classes. I can't think of one problem. The Hellcat platform in general is just stellar. I've poured thousands of rounds through them, no issues whatsoever, and the RDP is no exception to that. So it is a good, reliable system. Now, could you take an existing gun, have it ported, and get the same, reduction of recoil or reduction of muzzle flip? Sure, you could. Of course, not everybody has a machinist in their backyard that specializes in, modifications to the gun. And so for those of you that don't have that want a small gun that's going to give you deeper concealment capability, but yet not beat you to pieces in the control and give you that desired follow-up that you want that's controllable, the RDP is without a doubt an option that you should be thinking about for your concealed carry lifestyle. So, I commented earlier about new shooters, and I don't want to give you the impression that the RDP is only for new shooters. It's really not. Any tool and piece of equipment that you can put on your gun that doesn't subtract from the reliability, but gives you a greater edge in performance, no matter what skill level you are, is going to be a winning recipe for you in that worst case scenario. It really, I've found this gun easy to shoot, even with that flush mag where my pinky is just barely hanging on, which I can't express the challenge or how important that pinky is to your shooting performance. A lot of people, don't really think that sucker is important, but it truly is when you're talking about those follow-up shots, capturing your sights, whether they be iron or red dot, and getting back on target for that follow-up, which we know in defense is most likely going to be needed unless you are super lucky or you're, hitting everything 100% that day. The RDP, though, gives you some advantages, new or old, experienced or inexperienced, that's a winning combination for you and your self-defense strategy. Okay, folks, that's been our review of the RDP Hellcat from Springfield. Thanks for watching. Remember, train hard. Your family deserves it.